Right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat Live. This afternoon, our coverage of the 2025 Women's Euros continues, and we have the Lionesses in action, taking on the Netherlands with a place in the knockouts at stake. Lionesses hoping to get into the knockouts at the moment after their loss to France. They have to win tonight, realistically, to find themselves in a good position heading into match day 3, Harry. So a lot on the line. Do you believe?
Of course I believe, but the pressure is on England to deliver tonight. We have seen it time and time again that when the Lionesses are up against it, they have what it takes to give what they need and to find a way to get through. But tonight is going to be very, very difficult. It's one of the tougher tests that England and Serena Wiegmann have come up against in a while. Having to beat Netherlands to stay in the tournament is a very tough ask, especially with the performance level against France not being good enough. England need to raise it tonight, but as I said, when the pressure's on, the Lionesses usually find a way, and they're going to need to find a way this evening because anything but a win will put them in massive, massive trouble. So, can't afford to lose. A draw really isn't going to help too much. A win is paramount for England tonight.
It wouldn't be enough to keep it going another week, but they would then be relying on France beating Netherlands in match day 3, and England don't want to have to rely on results elsewhere. So, yeah, it was going to be an interesting one this evening for England. It's an important victory they've got to claim tonight. We've not seen Serena Wiegmann lose a Euros game before, so we've never seen her have to respond in these sorts of situations. We didn't see her lose a World Cup game until the final, so we've never seen how England turn things around, how they respond to adversity. So now's the big test. Can England get it right this afternoon? Can they beat the Netherlands? Can they put themselves up to second in the group? We'll see what happens. Ryzen, one of the stream says, guys, I'm not feeling confident. Get out of here, Ryzen. Confidence is what we need. Belief is what we need in this live chat. Halo, welcome to the stream as well. Phil says, how's it going, gents? Good to see you, Phil. Tough game, but I think we can get it done. That's what we love to hear, that positive attitude, that belief that England can win this afternoon. Let's get into the lineups then. We are in, where are we today? We're in Zurich for this game, and we'll start with the England team. It's a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3 for England today. In goal, Hannah Hampton. Flat 4 remains the same with Bronze, Captain Williamson, Greenwood and Carter. In the pivot, it's Walsh alongside Georgia Stanway. On the right, Lauren James. On the left, Lauren Hebb. Ella Toone, the only change coming into attacking midfield. And Russo leads the line. One change, Harry, is that less than you expected?
It's a lot less than I expected. And again, I want to start with saying of course, we never expect to see England completely change the team, wholesale changes. I wasn't expecting loads. But from the reaction we saw from Wiegmann and from the players, but mostly Wiegmann, during the match and after the game in the presser, for me, she was very angry and clearly was not happy with the standard. The way she's reacted though isn't demonstrated in that lineup, and of course it could be something tactical or something else, which means that she's tweaked that's going to change. But to go and put out a very, very similar side that includes the players who probably played the worst on that pitch, it is really bizarre to me. Again, how is Jess Carter playing? I'll go find a different way to put it.
It's not even that just Jess Carter's playing. It's how are Carter and Bronze playing.
Yes, the thing is, I understand why Bronze plays again, because yes, she wasn't very good, but A, we don't have another natural right back, and B, we know Lucy Bronze does have the quality to defend properly and not play like a Sunday League footballer. So we know that's in there for Bronze, but Jess Carter proved on against France, and again, this is no dig at her, but she's just not up to scratch anymore. And I've seen, and she was one of our best players 5 years ago. That 5 years, that is a lot has changed, and I don't understand when you've got so many options to put there why Wiegmann keeps going with that. And again, I'm sorry, but she'll get torn apart. Chastity Grant on the right hand side for Netherlands is going to take her to the cleaners, and again, England are going to massively struggle to defend that left hand side simply because Carter is not good enough anymore. And I love Jess Carter. Again, I'm not trying to slag her off. I think the service she's done for England is absolutely brilliant, but her time in the England starting 11 is up, and Serena Wiegmann needs to realise that, because again tonight, no Niamh Charles for me is another really poor decision from Wiegmann, and it just feels, when I look at the side, it feels like Wiegmann watched a completely different game. because I watched a game where Carter got torn apart and where England really struggled, and to only see one change, it is beyond me. Don't get me wrong, I think that one change is positive. Not that, again, not because Beth Mead's been taken out, but bringing Toon into the midfield, it just means you might actually have someone to be in the midfield, which we didn't see against France.
To be fair, I think what we'll see with Lauren James onto the right-hand side, we'll get on to whether Lauren James should be starting or not in a moment. There's been a great discourse, a very interesting discourse over that over the last few days. But regardless of that, I think Lauren James being on the right flank will want to drift inside of the ball, and that will allow Bronze to contribute more in an attacking sense. You would think England will make up for that by playing more of a situational back three, which we didn't really see against France. Against France, when Bronze went forward, no one really shuffled across. It just stayed as it was. I think what will be much more of a purposeful situational back three today for England. I think that will be beneficial. I think it would have been better if they put Greenwood at left back, brought Letitia in, and had a proper a back three in possession, had that rest defence looking strong. I still think Carter is capable of doing it. As Ryzen says, maybe it'll be Carter at centre back and Greenwood left back. I'd be surprised if that did change, but maybe so, and that would offer a little bit more defensive security, you would feel, with Carter in the middle of that back three. But that would still worry me slightly. I think it can be more positive, though. Midfield, having Toon in there will bring more energy. However, I still think England have a problem with legs. One of the biggest issues we saw in the first game was that Stanway was clearly not fully fit yet. Lauren Hemp clearly not fully fit yet. Lauren James clearly not fully fit yet. So why are they all starting? Because you've got players like Clinton who've had a great season at club level and can come in and play that Stanway role. You've got players in attack midfield who could have came in and started instead of Lauren James. They have done that, but now put James on the right wing. But why are those players starting rather than players who are fully fit and are ready to go for this tournament? Don't get me wrong, Lauren Hemp, Lauren James, some of our best players, Georgia Stanway, some of our best players. So don't get me wrong on that. I would start them if they're fully fit, but if they're not 100%, are they still our best players? Because out in midfield, especially without the ball, England look non-existent.
Yeah,
even with the ball, England look non-existent.
Yeah, Stanway and Walsh for me have to be so much better today. They have to be there. Exactly, they have to be involved to start for starters, and then they have to play well once they are getting involved. But yeah, it just feels that we praised Wiegman when England won it in the last edition. We praised Wiegman for using the squad, and so far this tournament, it just feels like she's forcing the same 11. It's because, as you say, in that first game, if Hemp, James and Stanway weren't fully fit, you had Clinton, you had Toon, you had Kelly, you had Beaver Jones. Charles can come in for Carter if she's not playing well. So you've got an incredibly good squad, and you've got players that are good enough to come in and start. So there's no need to be forcing players that are only at 80%, 80, 90%. If they're not 110% ready to play, then they shouldn't be in the starting 11. And we saw that against France. Maybe that'll be different tonight, and maybe they are fully fit and ready to go. But we'll have to wait and see. But England have got to be careful, because that Netherlands side is very, very strong. And if England aren't fully, ready to go, then that Netherlands 11 will take advantage of that.
Yeah, to take away from the serious analysis, I did just enjoy watching some Dutch grannies dancing along to the music, getting the crowd going. But yeah, England has to be a marked performance on and off the ball today. Didn't progress the ball with enough assertion, didn't win the ball back with enough eagerness. That's got to be different today. I just think throwing injured players into a schedule which is naturally very intense at a tournament. You have to play games every few days. I just don't see why we're throwing players in who have played very little football this season because of injury. Let's have a look then at the Netherlands side as the players are making their way out of the tunnel. It is a 4-2-3-1 for Netherlands. In goal, Daphne van Domselaar. A back four of Kaspreit, Janssen, Berman and Bruggs. A midfield three then of Grunen, Kaptein and Palova. The only change on the side on the right flank, Grant coming in for Van der Donk. On the left-hand side, it's Rord, and leading the line, Captain Viviana Miedema. Can't say I'm massively surprised by the change. Van der Donk, the way that Netherlands operated in the last game was that both their wingers would operate as inside players. They try and find those the half spaces. Today, what they're probably going to look to do is have Brooks push up the line and Rord come inside. Grant hold the width and Palova go into the half space and create a bit more of a secure rest defence with Kaspreit tucking in defensively. Now that can change as well, perhaps, if they are attacking down the right-hand side, but I think a lot of their play will look for Bruggs coming down the left-hand side and Grant holding the width on the right-hand side. So broadly, I understand that change. Do you agree? Do you think Van der Donk coming out the side makes sense?
Yeah, 100%. Again, it will feel harsh for Van der Donk, and people will wonder why, because she was brilliant against Wales, picked up 2 assists, player of the match performance. But again, this is a really good example of Andreas Jonker being a top manager and doing his homework. He knows where Netherlands can hurt England tonight, and that is getting Chastity Grant on the ball, on the right flank, being direct against Jess Carter and beating her for pace, which Grant will do, because the other thing that Grant has got is physicality. So it's not even like Jess Carter's be able to push her off the ball. So Grant has physicality and pace over Carter tonight, and it's really smart from Jonker. It's a great example of a manager doing their research, doing that analysis work, and noticing where England's problems are, and Netherlands are going to look to hurt them today. But it's a really good Netherlands side with top quality players. And if they do manage to overrun England, if they do manage to get down that right-hand side, and as you say, if they get Brooks involved on the left, then they've got, Rord, Miedemar, Palova, whoever to aim for in central areas who are going to... Netherlands are really good. It's a really strong side, and they've got a lot of threat coming forward, and defensively, I think they're superb. A great centre-half partnership of Werder Berman and Dominic Janssen. It's going to be difficult for England to get into the game tonight, but England need more control. Need to have more control than they did against France, and if we see the England we saw in the first 15 minutes of Matchweek 1, then England will play very, very well today and will probably go on to win the match. It's just whether we get that kind of performance from England, and if Netherlands do start to take an advantage, then England have got to make sure they don't fall away or collapse like they did against France.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be an interesting one. It's also going to be a tough one for Serena Wiegmann against her own country. It's always weird to see the managers both sing along to the same national anthem. But there you go. Can she put that out of her mind? Can she be the ultimate betrayer, really, of the Dutch? That's what she's going to have to do tonight to get England through this match. Let's get into predictions, though. If you're watching along to the stream, get involved in the live chat. Give us your score predictions. We'll get started here in the studio and with yourself, Harry. Are you backing the Lionesses to win, or do you think they'll crash out in the group stage?
I think England will win. I think England will just about get through this game, but I don't think it'll be convincing. I think that Netherlands will make a really good go of it. I will go 2-1 England, a massive 3 points, and keeping themselves alive at this tournament. I will go England to open the scoring through Alessia Russo. I then think at the start of the second half, it will be Viviana Miedemar to level it up, and it will look like England are going to be in a spot of bother. But it will be a goal from Aggie Beever-Jones off the bench to rescue England, take the 3 points, and put the Lionesses into a very decent position in this group.
Yeah, fair enough. I disagree. I think England is going to click this tonight, which won't shock many people in chat. I'm going to say England 3, Netherlands 1. I do think we'll still concede. I'm not 100% on that back four, but I think that we're underestimating how strong England's attack is. Yes, the last one was terrible, but it can't be that bad tonight. And if it clicks in attacking areas, there is just so much quality. England should beat any team. So, yeah, I wasn't entirely convinced by the Netherlands against Wales. Yes, they beat them, but they lacked clinicality. And the amount of chances they had, they should have won that game by 5, maybe 4-5-0, and they didn't. So, yeah, I think I look at tonight's game, I look at the quality in this England side, and yes, while it didn't work out against France, I think that this is a slightly easier opponent. I think England will get it right tonight.
Yeah, and even if the starting 11's wrong, I look at it, the reason I think England will find a way is because I look at a bench, and if England do need a goal, they can call on Clinton, Park, Aguiman, Kelly, Beever-Jones, whoever. A plethora of options for England to call upon if they need goals and if they need changes in this match, and that could really make a difference and really help England if they do need to find a saving goal in the latter stages. But hopefully it'll be much better for the Lionesses. But got to start fast, got to try to put Netherlands under pressure, and as I said, need to have more of the ball, dictate the tempo, and need to get involved in the midfield. Stanway and Walsh have to be better tonight, because if they allow that Netherlands midfield free to dictate, then England are going to find it very, very difficult to create chances tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Phil says, I'm going hopeful, angry, embarrassed. England will come out and batter them 5-0. Love it, Phil. Paul says, Netherlands win for me. Sorry, Paul, you're killing the vibes. And David going in the middle with a draw. So really is a split opinion across the chat. What's not really a split opinion is the poll in chat. 71% think England will win this match. And then only 18% going for Netherlands, 10% going for a draw. It's sure to be a tasty one. I think whatever the result, it's going to be a good game of football.
Yeah, I think the reaction from England fans has been very interesting. I think a lot of people massively overreacted to the loss, and now you've got, I think overall there's an overreaction to the loss, but now you've got kind of two groups of England fans, either the heavily optimistic, still think England will win tonight, still think England will win the tournament, or the England fans who are like, oh, we're going to get grouped, we're going to be out, we're not going to win a single game, it's going to be terrible because we're all rubbish, and Ella Toon's not playing every single minute of every single game.
Jess Carter for the way, starting at centre-back, Greenwood at left-back. Both such players here taking a knee and a stand against all forms of discrimination. And then it will be England to get us underway. They're knocking back to Hampton and we're underway. It's match week 2 in Group D. England must win to progress, to have any chance really of progressing. An important, a pivotal match in this group stage for the reigning champions. And already we're seeing Bronze get really high on this right-hand side. Lauren James in the half space. If she can find a pass through to her, does use her. Back to Bronze. Fast start here for England. James into the box. Berman heads it away. Stanway tries to put pressure on the ball. Drops now for Walsh and England can settle into possession. Williamson. Lifting it over the top. Headed away by Berman. Now putting pressure on the midfield there. Grönen, though, deemed to be fouled. And Russo unable to latch onto that ball.
Yeah, fast start, positive start from England. Exactly what they needed to do. Yeah, a little bit aggressive there from Bronze, just pushing over Captain. But not a bad start. England have got to be lively. England have got to start well. But yeah, I think Carter playing centre half and putting Greenwood left back is a really good decision. Because that, for me, will just stop England getting caught out as often.
Fiona Berman. Lifting the ball forwards. Just going to run on through to Leah Williamson, who'll see it out for an England throw. She'll let Bronze take it. Just slowing the down, going down a little bit here, Lucy Bronze, letting England settle in. Throwing it long, looking for Russo. Great turn from Russo. Janssen quick to react. And a battle in there. Palova losing out. Stanway knocks it back to Williamson. England settle in possession once more. Here is Lucy Bronze. Nige, welcome to the stream. Cheering on England this evening. Russo unable to hold on to that ball. Bronze with a great reaction. She's on it tonight, Lucy Bronze, in an attacking sense.
Yeah. Well, she's actually getting forward. The problem against France was that she was getting caught out because she was only kind of going half forward. She was being aggressive but not playing very high, but playing high enough that there was space in behind her.
Well, this feels like the setup that it should have been all along. My only confusion as to why Jess Carter is in the team rather than Maya Letitia. Because if you're using her as a centre-back, Letitia is a considerably better player at centre-half.
But as we all know, Maya Letitia plays golf, so, you know.
That is true. Not a footballer, according to Serena Wiegman. Yeah, definitely should be involved, but alas. Here's Carter. Now Greenwood. Back to Jess Carter. And now back to Hannah Hampton. He'll look to play out to this right-hand side. Drills it into Bronze. He can carry the ball forwards here for the Lionesses. And shifts the ball out to the right position with James. Bronze trying to feed one through. Brooks intercepting. And now Captain picked off in there by Ella Toon. Great work, great from the attacking midfielder. Now it's the left-hand side. Hemp will look to take on Kasparai. Teammates on the club stage. Who'll get the beating here? Hemp doing well. Ball into the box. Lauren James tries to meet it. Unable to turn it goalwards. First chance of the game going to England, though. James unable to turn that header into a goal.
Immediately, Ella Toon getting involved and just shifting that ball, helping England recycle it. And I'll tell you what, that's good defending from Esme Brooks. Yeah. Just nudges into James as she goes to head the ball.
If anything, you want James not to go for this because it's going to drop for Lucy Bronze in the back post. That just needs a call, really. James not an incredibly strong header of the football. Everything else in the game of football she excels at, but not really strong in the air. Just needs some communication there. Williamson back to Hampton, who clears it long. Don't mind that under pressure. Well kept on by Lauren Hemp, who heads it positively. Dino to have gone off.
Ags up. Sloppy from that from Hemp.
Also
Yeah.
confusing.
And,
How?
well, it's taken BBC to 4 minutes to mention that Miedemar and Mead are playing against each other.
I'm only surprised they haven't put in a picture of their dog.
Ticking
on
off the
live
important
broadcast.
things tonight. But Toon looks up for it. Toon looks like a player who's hungry to show that she shouldn't have been benched for match week 1.
Ball in behind. Looking for the run here of Grant. Needs an option inside. Finds Miedemar, who shifts it forwards. And England just unable to react in time. Hannah Hampton getting on to that pass forwards from Miedemar. But again, Williamson doesn't really do enough there. Miedemar's touch was better. She was in trouble. And just play the pass on the left-hand side and you're in at the moment.
Yeah.
It's the problem for England. Bronze. Lovely switch of the play. Now Lauren Hemp. Ball into the right sort of area. Too close to Daphne Van Domselaar, though, who reacts quickly and pounces on it.
England doing well. They're controlling that. Just got to be careful that when Netherlands do come forward, England don't get opened up like that ever again. Because Greenwood isn't the quickest, but the player covering her is even slower. And that is a problem. But it should be a problem that we don't see happen too many times because it is a back three. For England, it's been a good start, but can't be cut open that easily. That was 3 passes, and suddenly Miedemar was in the penalty area.
Yeah, at the moment there's a little bit of desperation to the attack. England need to calm down. I think get an early goal, that will just calm things down, set things down. England will then start to attack properly. At the moment, there's just everything's a little bit frantic. A desperation to immediately put things right from the France game. Walsh, Bronze. Got to realise there's 85 minutes to play in this one. They don't need to score in the first 5. Brooks intercepting and out of play for an England throw on this near side. Ball long. Headed away by Berman. Out again for an England throw, and this will allow them just to move the ball up the line. Throws it short to James, who just wasn't alert there. Esme Brooks on her back. Bronze. Now Williamson.
But yeah, that's the thing for England. As you say, they have got 85 minutes, and it is only 1 goal needed. Because if England do win tonight, then all England have got to do is win against Wales.
That's a great ball in behind, looking for the run of Ella Toon. Van Domselaar off her line quickly, though, and deals with it well. Header down to Hemp. Don't know why she tries to turn that way. Turns into trouble. Captain picked off well there by Carter. Straight back into harm's way. Walsh does really well to avoid Palova trying to drag her down there. Here is Kira Walsh now. Great switch of the play to pick out Hemp on this left-hand side for England. Running at Kasparov again. Tries to put the ball in there. It's blocked, and now they'll look to break away, Netherlands. Good tackle from Walsh. Goes to Miedemar. Assertive defending from Jess Carter. Need to see more of that. That was really good from Carter, though. Stanway to Hemp. Can she make a chance happen? Greenwood tries to play that ball through the lines. Toon will work hard to get there. Trying to take on Kasparov. Hasn't quite been able to keep it on the pitch. That'll be a Netherlands goal kick.
Yeah, the one thing that putting Jess Carter in the middle of the 3 does, it means that she can step up and because I think she's good at that, stepping up, being playing defending on the front foot and stepping in to make the tackle. And because she's in the middle of the 3, if she steps up and gets it wrong, there isn't just a massive gap behind her.
There shouldn't be, at least.
Yeah, there shouldn't be, because Williamson and Greenwood should be stood there to fill that hole. But yeah, just so much more secure with Carter being in the middle of the back line rather than out on that left-hand
She's
side.
also up against Miedemar, who is one of the only players that she can keep up with.
Yeah.
Because Miedemar is into her 30s and has had so many knee operations that they don't work as well as they used to. Ball played in behind. Looking for the run there of Lauren James. Chests it down well. Wants to take on Kasparov now. Great movement from Hemp into the box. Russo!
Should do better.
Got to do better with that chance. Brilliant stuff from Hemp. It's a direct ball onto the chest of Lauren Hemp. She makes life so difficult for Kasparov by twisting in and out. Ball lifted to Russo. Must be better from Alessia Russo.
Russo's reaction tells you everything you need to know. She will be the first person to tell you that she should have done better with that chance. What an opportunity. We've credited how good her ability in the air has developed over the last season, and that was a golden opportunity to put England in front.
Yeah.
But it's better. It's coming for England. Hemp looks lively once again, and again we're seeing it. That front 4 is linking up well. Yes, the goals haven't gone in, but that's the second time that England have come down the left-hand side, got a cross in, and the first contact has been a white shirt.
Bliss's Midwise 28, not in her 30s. Fair enough. She's just been around for so long. And there, Hemp getting caught by Kasparite. That should be alright.
I think that was payback for Hemp tying Kasparite in knots about a minute ago.
Breaking her ankles with that movement.
Yeah. But Netherlands will want to just settle in this game, just ride out this early storm. Because if they can watch England keep missing chances and then try and hit on the break one of their own, that's how they're going to hurt England. But if England can take one of these chances, and it's going to make it difficult for Netherlands to get in this game.
Great press that from Grant to knock the ball out of play. England throw-in now on that far side. And it's Alex Greenwood looking to make something happen. Goes into Toon, back to Greenwood. Now Carter. Hampton. Wants to move it forward. Great direct ball, looking for the run there of Hemp. Janssen,
Ooh.
That's assertive and clumsy from Dominic Janssen.
I mean,
Not been given us anything.
I'm
sure VAR's going to have a look at that.
Yeah, they are going to stop
Just halted the game.
because A, it's a head injury, and B, I think VAR. I'd love the referee to say which part of the ball Dominic Janssen's even tried to play. Does she make?
I think she'll get away with
Yeah.
it, but she's gone just to barrel into Hemp.
I think she'll get away with it. It's an aggressive one. It's an aggressive one, but yeah, I think it's on the line. It is just on the line.
You can see what the intent is there. She's looking at the ball, so it's all. I think she'll get away with it, but the intent the whole time is just to barrel over Lauren Hemp.
And I think that the ball kind of bounces between their heads before she knocks her over. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that one.
And Wiegman, for the second match in a row, is engaging in discussions with the fourth official. Netherlands with a drop ball then in the middle of the pitch. Jackie Grunen there, directing England players to stand 5 yards away, and now Netherlands can play. Grunen back to Berman. Here's Van Domselaar. Russo putting the pressure on. Forces the long ball. Captain flicks on well. Grant loses out to Greenwood. Greenwood held her back though, and that will be a Netherlands free kick. Unnecessary for Alex Greenwood.
100% didn't need to commit that foul there. Netherlands were going nowhere. It's just relieved a little bit of pressure, but again, good first 12 minutes from England. Good reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly what was needed. The only thing missing now is a goal. And a shot on target.
Hence been excellent so far.
Yeah.
Real difference from the first game. That is a poor pass. And I don't really know what... Hampton just didn't quite read that one well.
Went under her foot.
Does recover it well. Bronze. Williamson. Now just Carter. Greenwood pass inside to Carter. Does well there. Miedemar just kicking lumps out of her.
Well battled from Carter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, when she's in the right role.
Not sure how that's not yellow. Just running her studs down the calf there of Jess Carter. That's a horrible one from Miedemar. No intent to play the ball because the ball's not even in Carter's
think
possession.
it was based on the fact that Carter isn't in any pain at all. I think it was probably a lot lighter than the slow-mo showed there, because that should have hurt a lot more.
It doesn't change the action. Here's Bronze. Ball up in the air. Carter up against Miedemar. Miedemar using her body well. Tries to play a forward pass. Greenwood cuts it out and then is assertive in her defending of Grant, and that will be an England throw. I think Grant's just struggling with the physical element of this game so far. England just want to bully Netherlands off the ball and they try and come forwards. Here is Bronze. And Netherlands trying to do the same. That is the nature of such an important match. James now running at Esme Brugts. Just carries the ball with so much poise. Tries to play it through the lines. Nowhere to go there, though. It doesn't quite come off. Ball long from Netherlands. Again, though, overhit.
Yeah, I think Jonker made the change to try and target the England that played against France. The problem is that doesn't work if England then make changes, which is exactly what Wiegman's done tonight. That's a great ball down the line to Rousseau.
Who can hold the ball up well in the channel. Needs support. James Rousseau. Back now to Lucy Bronze. Can she deliver the ball into the box? Looking to the back post for Lauren Hemp. Played well by Daphne van Domselaar.
Been a lot of those crosses, just way too close to the goalkeeper and you know, too much air time. They've got to be a little bit flatter.
Floaters, yeah. With no real target. Caspright sending it down the line. Grant loses out to Greenwoods. Chest down there by Stanway. Now Walsh tries to clip one through the lines. It's cut out by Berman. Here is Gernon. Berman. Well done from Rord there, flicking around the corner. One back by Walsh. Not too much bother. Bronze slots the ball into Lauren James. Not a bad ball into the box, but it's headed away by Berman, making good contact. Bronze, well one up the field. Now Toon. James again. Going back to Williamson. Lifts one in behind, looking for the run now of Lucy Bronze into the penalty area. Berman wants to see it out, does really well.
Good defending that from the Netherlands youngster. Does really well, use their body, doesn't let Bronze get around her and sees it out for a goal kick. But right idea from England again. You can tell just how important it is when you actually have a midfield in the game. Makes a huge difference. Ella Toon picking the ball up just around you, just on the edge of that 18-yard box.
Stanway looking sharper as well. It's really important. Van Domselaar here from the back for Netherlands. Lifts it forwards. Greenwood heads down to Walsh, who heads forwards. That's only going to fall for Janssen to Walsh again. That one hacked in the air. Toon heads on. Here's Lauren James. Nice ball out to the left-hand side for Lauren Hemp. Needs some support, or does she? Great movement from Hemp. Not sure who she's looking for in the cutback. Didn't look up.
No.
Tries to play it across.
Didn't know why she passed that. She was doing well all by herself there. I thought she was going to... I thought when she cut back there, I thought she was going to cut back and shoot.
Bronze. Now Stanway holding the width on this right-hand side. That's a really poor cross, though, into the gloves of Van Domselaar.
England doing really well to get the ball to the final third, but right now it is just catching practice with Van Domselaar. These balls have to be more directed. Have to have a target. Can't just float them in there and hope it finds somebody.
Yeah. Lovely turn from Captain. Rord being forced backwards. Pass forward for Grant. Cut out. Falls for Toon. He'll get it to Greenwood. Now Williamson. Now go all the way back to Hannah Hampton. Just Carter. Here's Hampton. Surveying her options here. Under no intense pressure. 1-2 with Stanway. Back to Hampton. Waiting for a gap to emerge. Looking to try and find Lauren James, who chests that down well. Holds on to it. Tries to take it past Berman. Berman commits the foul. England free kick. I just didn't know really what to do with Lauren James here. Tries to flick it over Berman's head. Nods it past her, and then Berman missing the ball and just headbutting Lauren James. Not intentional, but that's definitely a foul. And England will have a free kick. I think Lauren James may require some attention here.
Yeah, just misjudged that by Berman, but Netherlands need to find a way to get a foothold in this game. They're doing well to hold England back, but if England start getting that final ball on point, then it's going to be very difficult for Netherlands to keep up. Yeah, England just it's that final pass or that cross into the box that isn't coming off right now, but all the play before it is really positive and really good. Just need to get that final ball right. And you'd think that at that point England would be on the money.
And well, Mead sent out to warm up with the injury to James.
And again, another opportunity to...
James will have to continue. Bronze.
I mean, apparently she's got to go off, but I think she didn't receive treatment.
Yeah, it's a confusing one as well because it was a foul.
And Bronze is now making that case to the fourth official.
And so is Wiegman.
And the fourth official has just responded by telling Wiegman to get back in the technical area. I mean, yeah, if Lauren James, no physios come on there, so why does Lauren James have to go off?
Really weird officiating. There's just no precedence for that.
It's just the wrong decision.
Right, now she's allowed back on the field.
I think
so England, rather than being able to put that in the box, decided to slow it down because they were down a player.
Such a silly thing, and it meant absolutely nothing, especially when it...
Yeah. He breaks down, Carter with a poor pass.
20 minutes gone then. I think England would like a goal before the half. Still plenty of time to get that. We've got over halfway to go. But obviously sooner rather than later we would be putting England in a much better position.
Williamson lifting it over the top. Janssen under pressure from Rousseau. Now it's with Van Domselaar. Cross to Berman under great pressure from Lauren James, but she finds a pass. Berman's looked really good, I have to say. Brooks looking to switch the play, trying to find Grant in behind. Hannah Hampton will be quick off her line and pounce as well. Yeah,
sharp that from Hampton. That seems to be the only way that Netherlands are going to have joy today, is that ball over the top to Grant in between Carter and Greenwood. But that time it was well covered by Hannah Hampton.
Yeah, at the moment, just trying those direct verticals. Great pass from Hannah Hampton in behind here for Alessia Russo. Can she turn it into an opportunity? Has Lauren James in support? Will go to James. Can she get a shot away? Does so! Goal for England! Lauren James. What a moment from a magnificent player. Russo received it in the channel excellently. Lays it off to Lauren James, who silences sections of the media who've doubted her selection. She may not be 100%, but she'll still pick the ball up and knock it into the top corner. Brilliant from James. Lovely move from back to front for England. And Lauren James take a bow.
What a ball that is from Hannah Hampton. It's a great run from Russo, who lays it off to James perfectly. But what a strike from Lauren James. She is a difference maker. For whatever team she's playing for, just picks it up, darts inside, beats Janssen and fires it into the top corner. A brilliant strike for Lauren James.
Great move from England. Great finish from Lauren James.
Exactly what it needed. That final ball just wasn't coming off, so Lauren James went, I'm just going to pick it up and shoot.
And UEFA have found no possible reason to disallow that one, so it will stand. England 1, Netherlands 0.
But credit as well to the run from Russo, and the ball from Hannah Hampton was absolutely sublime. And that is why she's England's number 1. That distribution is just unrivaled, in the England camp, and to be honest, by any other goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Brilliant distribution.
Just the movement from Russo is top class, but the fact that Hampton's picked her out is even better.
Arguably the only goalkeeper with better distribution stands in the opposite net tonight.
Yeah, but yeah.
Here come Netherlands.
But exactly what he needed. It was a good performance.
A driller ball right through the team. Yeah. Russo, great anticipation, gives it to Hemp. This is much better stuff from England. That looked a little too aggressive from Palova, but she'll get away with it. And England's counter-press, looking to win the ball back. Palova holds on to it, though. Can she switch the play? Tries to find Esme Brooks, cut out by Bronze. Much better that from Lucy Bronze. James, back to Bronze. Exchange the pass with Kira Walsh. Bronze back to Williamson.
And again, just another example when England play their stuff and don't allow the opposition to interrupt them or to get in their way. When England play their stuff and Lauren James is on their game, simply unplayable.
Yeah. Carter. Hampton. Great ball long. James has great strike from James. Still to be clinical up top, though. To be fair, we haven't really created an incredible opportunity yet. Russo, though, should have done better with an earlier one. Made up for it by holding onto the ball there, laying it off to James well.
Yeah. Don't know why they're trying to make an argument that Ella Toon was in the way here of Van Domselaar seeing it. Nowhere near that at all.
Say, if that's blocked Van Domselaar's view, then Van Domselaar's not looking anywhere near the player. So that would be more of the problem.
An important goal, that. A very important goal.
Yeah, indeed. Netherlands now looking to level the score. Grant playing it down the line. Assertive again there from Carter. Back to Hampton.
Ooh.
Bit of a slice at that distribution. Finds Carter though. Hemp will jostle with Kasparai and beats the fullback. Kasparai following her across pitch. Hemp onto Lauren James. James just calmly coming inside with the ball. Now Walsh.
I have to say, Lauren Hemp has got the got the difference.
Got a bit between her teeth tonight. She's been everywhere. Driving the ball forward.
Up against Kasparai. Kasparai just cannot keep with her. And again, I thought Lauren Hemp looked really bright in the first game, and she's picked up where she left off. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. A great turnout from England fans. So yeah. So shame this one isn't in a bigger stadium, because this is the kind of game that could easily sell out in Basel or Zurich's only 20,000. I want to say.
Mm.
And I think that it's almost a sellout,
tournament, I think. Yeah.
But the largest stadium is the biggest in Switzerland by a distance. Shot here from range from Rod. That one going wide. It take a deflection, not in the view of the officials. Hey, she says good strike and build up. Yeah, lovely stuff from England. Moving the ball back to front really quickly. And this time, Rousseau not even level with the defender. So they couldn't rule it out.
No. Well, time from Rousseau, but what a ball that was from Hannah Hampton. Just to hit it so flat and direct.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But yeah, and that just settles everything down. You know, the fans that were worrying and the fact that things could have got difficult tonight. That goal just settles it down a little bit and puts England in control. Because as I said, goal difference won't be a problem for England if they win their both remaining games, because they'll go through no matter what happens in any other game, no matter who scores however many goals. Because of head-to-head. England just have to win their games.
Well, I think they'll be keen to put a few, because the only situation where goal difference will come into effect is if France lose to the Netherlands in match day 3, in which case all three teams could be joint on 6 points, and England would need to have a strong goal difference.
Yeah, I still don't know how that works. I don't. Yeah.
But so if three teams are tied, it doesn't come into effect. It's only if 2 teams are tied.
I know. That's why I don't think you should just. I think they should just never use head to head, because how can you have something that you can only use in a? Because it's very likely that 3 teams could be tied at a tournament. So why would you use something that can only be used when 2 teams are tied?
Gretchen went with the stream. The broadcast will be slightly ahead of the stream. That is YouTube delay and the fact that we have to watch on the iPlayer rather than in exact real time. But if you want to watch along with us, then just pause until you're in time with our coverage. But thank you for joining the stream, James. Toon. Fighting away to hold on to that ball. Falls now to Esme Brooks. Knocks the ball forward. A little clumsy there from Kira Walsh. Palova does well to dance around the tackle of him. Now Kasparai. Janssen to Berman. Here is Esme Brooks. Trying to lift that ball in mind. Looking for the run of Viviana Miedemar. One high. Or one well by Hannah Hampton.
Yeah, well swept up that. And this is the kind of performance that players, I think, like Hampton and Carter and Lauren James needed. Just to, settle down, play well for a good half an hour and show that, they are, deserve to be in the positions they are in.
Yeah, that one. A little too ambitious from Hampton, trying to find that direct ball into Lauren James, but couldn't.
Yeah, I think a second before half time for England would do them a world of good. Just to really take control. Brilliant from Stanway, who is then taken out by Esme Brooks, who will avoid a card, but England with a free kick. But midfield of him so much more improved. Part of that is bringing Toon in. The other part of that is that Stanway and Walsh have really stepped it up. I mean, the fact they're getting on the ball is automatically more positive than the France game.
Yeah, and Toon hasn't really been involved too much in the possession so far for England, but has offered much more out of possession than Lauren James will.
Yeah.
Just naturally based on the players they are. James can do a job out of possession, but not when she's injured.
Mm.
And she's still clearly not 100%, but still able to produce moments of incredible quality.
I think the game plan will be, which again, it's where it did. I think the game plan from Serena right now, very very much, is that it's play Lauren James for the first 45, first 60. You know, she can help put us in a good position, and then we can bring her off. And that didn't work against France, but it has worked wonders tonight.
And this is the thing that a lot of people just sort of ignored in the France game. If that goal had gone in after 15 minutes, the game plan would have been perfect. Start Lauren James, get the result over the line, and then let's play from there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, oh, we'll still concede 2 goals anyway. But the game state completely shifted, and there was a noticeable difference in the way France were playing after that goal.
Yeah, I think
had the relief there of that being
loads of people disregarded the first 20 minutes of the France game just because of the 70 minutes that followed. But that's not how football works. You know, you don't just forget about a port. You know, England were good for the first 20 minutes. They played well, and obviously they went and scored that disallowed goal. And I think for a lot of people that have forgotten that happened just because we lost the game.
Yeah, here's bronze. Toon tries to find Lauren James. Ball into a good area. Tries to flick that towards goal. Claim for a handball in there. Toon adamant. No one else for England though.
Yeah.
Making the same complaint.
Russo kind of got sandwiched there between 2 Netherlands defenders, and not much she really could have done with it. It was a ball into a good area from Lauren James, but yeah, Russo couldn't really get any contact with that ball.
England in possession. Walsh. Stanway poking it up the line. Here's Hemp. Back to Greenwood. Netherlands' pressing has become a lot more aggressive since the goal. Walsh. Hemp. And that was a strong tackle from Jackie Grunen, and that has been given as a free kick, much to her frustration.
Yeah, Netherlands are just starting to feel it a little bit. It has been
not handball.
No, it has been a difficult 30 minutes for them. They've been up against it. England with 65% of the ball as well. Netherlands have not really been able to get into this game.
Greenwood switching the play. Here's Lucy Bronze. Looking now for Lauren James. Wants to come inside. Palova though does well, and then Brooks recovering. Belgium now putting pressure on Esme Brooks and forced out of play. That's a corner for England.
She has given the corner. No, I thought she gave the free kick. I thought she gave a free kick.
Can't see how.
Just biting away. Yeah, I think it was given as that was given a corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Alex Greenwood over this then. England with aerial presence. Can they make this work and double their advantage? Photographers, they're having to get out of the way to allow Greenwood to take this. Swung into the box. Good sort of area. Really good claim from Daphne Van Domselaar.
Don't know who was that? Williamson, I think, who just ran right across Van Domselaar and nearly got there first.
Berman. Now Brugts. Broad. Lovely combination down this left-hand side. Palova, Brugts. The problem for Netherlands is that they're making it work. There's some nice play, but it's on the halfway line. They're not really testing England. They're not really getting the ball forwards. Correct to England out of possession tonight. Much stronger. I think the difference in the France game is England didn't really not have the ball. They had a higher possession. The only reason that it dropped was because later in the game they start to play really direct football. Netherlands in possession. Janssen. Berman. Lifting the ball forwards. Not able, though, to find anyone in an orange shirt. So just a little lackluster so far from Netherlands. But I'm not sure England will complain.
No. But I think it is important that England try and get a second goal while Netherlands aren't at the races. Because, you know, Jonker and his side have got the ability to turn it on in the second half. So England will want to try and build up a bigger lead as possible while they are on top and while they are playing the better football.
England throw on the near side here. Bronze assessing our options. Going right down the line. Brooks will cut it out. Just about keeping it in touch. Great though from Bronze to win it back. Heart of the field. Russo trying to poke it through. Back out for a throw. Pretty much in the same place there for Lucy Bronze. Marked improvement in performance from a few players tonight. Bronze especially looked past it against France. Looks on it tonight. Roared. Grunen. Lovely turn out of the pressure there. Berman. Van Domslaar. Back to Berman. Tries to play it forwards. Cut out there by Bronze. Walsh. Bronze. Walsh again. Now Lauren James on this right-hand side. Pokes it through to Russo. Back towards Walsh. Lovely ball in. Hemp will try and get there onto the roof of the net. Does well to make any contact with that.
Yeah, good ball in from Walsh. Lovely combination down the right-hand side from England. And Hemp does well. Gets there before Cashfry once again.
You sort of want Walsh to let this go, really, and let Lauren James put the ball into the box. But a really good ball.
Corner. Should be a corner.
Walsh.
Hemp actually ended up heading it into Cashbright, which took it over the bar, and it will not give a goal kick.
One hut the field by Greenwood. Out of play though for Netherlands throw. Yeah, Greenwood's been much better on that left-hand side. Chassie Grant not really been able to get on the ball at all in this game. That will run long. Here is Janssen. So it's just going to see that one out for a Netherlands goal kick. Mugisha, welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying the game. Now, good to see Royals in attendance. And yeah. We know that I was playing out from the back.
I say I'm surprised Prince William hasn't bought George as well, but
yeah, surprised he wasn't here for the first game.
Yeah.
Hemp, Stanway. Good to see the presence though, because until last tournament we wouldn't have seen that at the Women's Euros. Header on target, parried away. James will catch there. Great block from Esme Brooks getting back in, and that'll be an England corner.
Well, we talk about Russo's heading game improving over last year. This was a brilliant one.
Really poor from definitely Van Domstar though.
Yeah, she parried it the wrong way.
Greenwood, great delivery. I'm not sure she need to parry this.
But again, though,
James almost gets there. Great intervention from Esme Brooks.
Why is it? We spoke about this happening a couple of times, but why is it with goal kickers and parrying it straight? Because Van Domstar could have easily parried that wide.
Yeah.
But an important block.
It was still pushed wider rather than going right back into the action.
True.
But I think that could have been a claim there. Just reacted late. England were now out of a corner, but there is going to be a pause in play here with Netherlands a player short with Berman on the floor. Just down injured and seems to be something with her upper lip.
Yeah, was it a ball to the face? No, it was Russo's.
Russo's
boot
there of Russo. Just coming up in the air and catching Berman in the face. A weird one.
Yeah,
Never seen a player head the ball.
And flip over.
Yeah.
Sure, Berman should be alright to continue.
Gretchen says tense moments for the Dutch. Very much so. They need to swing this game. They just need to hold on until the half. Then they've got to look to swing it. Sheridan Spitzer warming up. What would be her 254th Netherlands appearance?
It's ridiculous.
If she's to be involved. Quite a lot of blood coming from the lip of Villa Berman. They will use some Vaseline to try and deal with that problem. And in the meantime, England players taking on some fluids.
Yeah. Lucy Bronze has called one of the subs over to bring drinks. Fair enough.
Makes it like beers.
Yeah. Chloe K's just stood there, a couple of bebs. But not been a bad 39 minutes for England.
Lauren James just couldn't quite make this one work. She just couldn't anticipate that Van Domselaar was going to make such a mess of that.
Well defended.
Well, though, to win a corner, Greenwood now looking to deliver this. And unfortunately, the crowd have got a Mexican wave going in the meantime. Berman will have to go off after receiving treatment. So England now to deliver the corner. Can they use that player advantage to their advantage?
Yeah, bit of a meeting going on there's the area. But now England are dispersing into the Netherlands penalty area.
So Alex Greenwood. We've seen some good deliveries from her already this match. Could this be another one? Greenwood swings it in. Decent ball. Cleared away by the Netherlands, but it's only going to fall back to Alex Greenwood. Now Lauren James. Great delivery in towards the back post. Russo makes it, unable to turn it goalwards. And now Netherlands can look to break quickly. Van Domselaar out to the right-hand side. Here's Grant. Holds the ball up nicely. Casper on the overlap. Berman back into the fray. Had a play for an England thrown on that far side.
Yeah, again, England probing from those crosses, doing well just to keep the ball alive in those moments and recycle it well. But yeah, second goal before the interval would be huge for England if they can find it.
Hampton out to the right-hand side. Positive touch from Bronze. Carrying it forwards. We'll look to try and find Lauren James there. Just didn't quite come off. Held the ball a bit too long, you feel there. James tracking back, doing the hard yards, and now pass into Williamson. I think the only concern with this setup would have been James's defensive work. Williamson making a mess of that one there. Managed to recover it. But yeah, but it's definitely improved this year, Lauren James. We've seen her contribute more defensively for Chelsea when asked to in the big matches. Here is James. Lifting the ball into the box. Rousseau heading it goalwards, just wide.
Just don't think she anticipated it coming through. The movement was good, but the movement dropped her behind two Dutch defenders.
I wonder if James had better options there. She's gone for I mean, it's a great ball, and Rousseau...
Right idea.
If she'd anticipated that, could have done a lot better with it. But she had the option of... She had an option to the right of her. She could have drove the ball inside, where we know she's incredibly dangerous. We've already seen that once this match. So, capable of striking on either foot as well. Really smart that from Lauren Hemp to win herself a throw.
Casper struggled tonight so far.
Yeah.
Lauren Hemp has really caused her an issue.
Greenwood. One back there by Netherlands. Deemed a foul though. Too aggressive on Ella too. Greenwood playing that left back role. Do you think that's something we could see her do for Man City?
Potentially.
Next season?
Potentially.
Obviously a discussion of how to get the best out of that squad. Andre Jeglert's going in there. And I'm sure we'll do a video at some point over the summer looking at how they may line up. But we'll be interested to see what role she has in that side. But she's adapted that position really nicely for England so far tonight. What I'd love to see against Wales is a bit of bravery from Wiegman and backing of Maya Le Tissier. But and also, now, could we have seen Millie Bright in an England shirt if this was discussed before the summer? Rousseau, Stanway, takes aim. And that's not a great effort. A tame one and one back by Van Domselaar. But the reason that we didn't see Millie Bright involved was because she wasn't happy with the fact she wasn't going to be a starting player for Serena Wiegman at this tournament. But looking at this setup, she would have started over Carter.
Yeah.
You have to feel this could have been explored before the tournament started.
Vika
Lovely
captain,
movement from Vika. Captain carries it forwards. Now out to the right-hand side. Here's Pullover. Shimmies inside. Raud, who's come to the right side of the pitch. Losing possession. Space now for Hemp to drive into. Comes across Raud. Switching it to Lauren James, whose touch isn't great. Continues on. It's blocked. Going to drop in there for Toon. Could have got a shot away. Holds onto the ball now. Tries to backheel it to Lauren James. A misguided attempt at nonchalance. But that'll be out now for an England throw-in on this near side.
Another really good move from Lauren Hemp.
Netherlands just can't contain her at the moment.
Yeah.
Or anyone in the England attack for that matter.
Mm.
Here's James. Now Williamson. Carter. Greenwood. Stanway going back to Carter. Hampton. Now into Williamson, lifting that ball forwards, looking for Bronze, who heads it down well. Now Lauren James. Bronze. Walsh. Now James. Walsh to James again. And she'll play a pass inside to Greenwood. Not sure what she's trying to do with possession there. And now they're trying to come away. That one, very fortunate for Alex Greenwood, given as a foul. I'm not sure there was much in that one. Roard looked to have won it back cleanly for me. Greenwood just overplaying it. What?
Yeah, Roard got the ball. Kicked the ball like that. That's a frustrating one for Netherlands.
But a free kick in England can use this.
Yeah. I think that sums up the half for the Dutch. A really frustrating one that they haven't really managed to get involved in. No, they've felt a little bit like passengers while England play football around them.
So now England will look to make something happen from this free kick. Greenwood and James over it. And that'll be Lauren James to deliver the ball. Or will it? Greenwood stays over it. Looked like she was moving away from it. James lays it into the box. Headed down. Drops in there for Georgia Stanway. A great strike. We saw Walsh come up with a volley against France. We see Stanway with a pile driver, a low-driven effort, and Georgia Stanway converts. It's exactly her sort of area, that region just outside the penalty area, zone 14. It's where Stanway thrives. And she's just sliced that one past Daphne Van Domselaar from range. Really well done from Russo to keep it alive and just drilling it. Does Georgia Stanway. The swerve on that ball catches Van Domselaar out, and it's a brilliant effort from Stanway. England 2, Netherlands 0.
Really good hit. Catches it so nicely. Takes a nick on the way through, but body's in the way, and Van Domselaar couldn't see it until it was too late. That's exactly what Stanway does. And England are delivering in the first 45 minutes here. What a response in the the last 47 minutes. But that's a huge goal, because at 1-0, although England have played well, Netherlands were still in the game at 2-0. Lionesses are in control.
Love the celebrations in the live chat. Thanks everyone that's getting involved. Keep those comments coming in, but it's Netherlands coming forwards now. Really good from Williamson to stop the ball into the box. His captain. Forced backwards into Palova there by Stanway. England just settling in now into their out-of-possession shape. Looking to preserve this 2-0 lead going into half-time. But this would put them in a really good position, England. It would leave them neutral or leave them actually in a positive goal difference.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to see, and it would bring Netherlands down to only +1. And with France on the horizon, that'll be difficult for them. England have got to just keep going, really, in their current state. They're playing really well, making life really difficult for the Dutch.
Yeah.
And this meeting between the last two champions of the Euros has been anything but even. It's been all England in this first half, and that's the half-time whistle. England 2, Netherlands 0. England have had all of the ball. And as they come into the break, a 2-goal advantage puts them in a great position going into half-time. Netherlands struggled to make anything happen and struggled to contain England, particularly the wide players, Lauren James and Lauren Hemp, with great first halves. And goals from James and Stanway making the difference.
Yeah, really strong half from England, dictated it from start to finish. And the players in the forward area making the difference. Tuna has dictated it nicely in there. Lauren Hemp has looked so sharp on the left-hand side. Russo's had a few chances and has looked lively and set up Lauren James, who has been absolutely magnificent and has made a huge difference off that right-hand side. But really good stuff from England, and I think importantly, that second goal from Stanway just before the end of the half could prove crucial for the Lionesses. At 1-0, Netherlands are still in it and it's a tight game. At 2-0, it just gives England that breathing room. Yes, 2-0, it is said to be the most dangerous scoreline in football, but overall, I think that it puts England in a really good position, and in the second half, if they can push on for more, it could get into a very comfortable scoreline, but a really, really solid 45 minutes from England, and Netherlands need to respond in the second half because they have not been good enough. They've barely had a kick, and they really haven't imposed themselves onto to England. So Netherlands needs to be better, but England, really strong 45 minutes.
Yeah, let's start by talking about what's been different then from this game to the France game. A lot of people after France questioning decisions from Sarina Wiegman. Coming into this game, England only one change to the personnel, but quite a few tactical changes, Harry.
Yeah, 100%. I think that shifting to it from the off, it looked very obvious that for England it was that situational back three. We saw it immediately from kickoff. It was England's ball, and Bronze had already bombed on, and it was a back three of Greenwood, Carter, and Williamson. Swapping Greenwood and Carter has been absolutely crucial, and this is a superb piece of management from Wiegman. And I said it in the build-up was that we didn't see any changes in terms of we didn't see a reaction personnel-wise, but we could have, we've seen a reaction tactically, and we've seen a reaction in the way England want to play, and even a slight swap, swapping Carter and Greenwood, it is massively paying off for England. England just looked so much more solid, and Jess Carter playing in the middle of that situational back three, it couldn't play the way she wants to because she's got the cover. Carter is very much a aggressive defender. She likes to step up onto her opponent and jump in and make the tackle. And when she's playing at left back, that doesn't work because if you jump in against a top quality winger, that winger will just take the ball past you. Yeah. But at centre half, she can jump up, and if she gets the ball, fantastic. If she doesn't get it, she's got cover from Greenwood and Williamson so that she doesn't get caught out. So a really good shift there to go to the situational back three, make it more prominent, and to put Carter in the middle of it. And overall, I think England have just looked much more solid because of it.
Yeah, well, to highlight some numbers behind the first half for Carter, but in particular, Vivianne Miedema played out of the game, only 8 touches for the Netherlands striker, and she's lost every single duel.
Wow.
And that's not an easy feat. Vivianne Miedema may have lost a yard of pace, but she's still a brilliantly physical player, really good at holding the ball up and really good at being able to bring players into the game and release shots when they get into the box. But she has not been able to have any impact in attack from the Netherlands tonight. So huge credit has to go to Carter for that first half performance. But England, brilliant in attack, 63% possession so far, 11 shots to 1, 3 on target to none. England will be hoping they can start to put more chances on target, but ultimately, at the moment, Netherlands not really getting a sniff. Both of England's goals coming, though, from individual quality rather than overall play. Both obviously came from moving the ball really well through the lines. The second one less so, obviously, with the way it was a dead ball situation that England pounced on, but much more confidence, I think, in the England side with where they're taking shots from. Much more positive performance from England.
Yeah, 100%. I think that yes, the clinicality could hasn't been there too much, and England could have probably scored a couple more. But it's the fact that chance creation is back, and that's the most crucial thing. Is that England are getting on the ball in the midfield, they're progressing it forwards, and they're creating opportunities. And yes, a couple of them have gone wide, and England have only had 3 shots out of 11 on target. But overall, to be in clinical and score 2 goals is still pretty impressive in itself. But it's the fact that England are coming forwards, they're creating opportunities, they're having chances, and they are running at Netherlands. The Netherlands are constantly on the back foot, and that's big because I think that it shows that England are the ones getting on the ball, they're dictating it, and again, in the first game we spoke about how the midfield was absolutely nowhere. Didn't see the midfield 3 at all, but bringing in Toon centrally, putting James out wide, and just an overall improvement from Stanway and Walsh means that England have so much more control and are having so much more of the ball. Walsh is really controlling in there and has looked really strong. And I think on the ball, Keira Walsh has looked brilliant. Stanway again doing what she does best, and the reason she can do that now is because she's in there with Ella Toon, who when Stanway bombs on will just be a little bit more balanced and realise that she doesn't need to go as well. And that's why Stanway can push on, not get caught out, and obviously score goals like she did, because Ella Toone is just facilitating in there. I thought Toone hasn't done anything incredible, but it's just that overall her quality is shining through. She's doing really well at sitting on that edge of the area and recycling the ball, and she's the link player. At the moment, what Toone is doing is allowing other players to play as well as they are. As I said there, with Stanway, she's covering for her, which means that Stanway can bomb on. And I think overall, Toone is just playing that. It's the part. Toone is that, like, the middleman between England's midfield and the front line. She's moving it from Walsh into players like James, into players like Russo, and of course Walsh is also doing that herself. But Toone is just doing very well at bringing others into this game.
It's been a selfless performance. She's often making moves to create space. So her movement is taking players with her and creating space for her teammates. I think out of possession, she's done really well to make it really difficult. One of the things that France did really well was play the ball into Aurélien Jean-Francois, who was unopposed for a lot of the game, because James simply wasn't able to keep chasing after her. But Toone's completely nullified Netherlands being able to play out through a defensive midfielder. So she's done really well in that regard. The other big thing that the James and Toone switch has done is that it's opened up space for Lauren Hemp, because James naturally likes to drive into that left space. It's where she's best, I think, off the left wing or in attack midfield, but in that left half space. And so often she likes to drive into that space. But by not being there today, it's created so much space for Hemp. Yeah. Because James wants to be on the right-hand side and Netherlands are worried about her and worried about Bronze overlapping, often the ball comes down the right-hand side with Bronze progressing it, then they'll look to switch the play quickly into Lauren James, and into Lauren Hemp. And Hemp's first half will go unrecognised, really, but because she hasn't contributed, but she's been excellent. 3 chances created, 2 big chances so far, fouled the most times in that half of any player on the field, 100% dribble success rate, has looked really strong down that wing, and Kaspar's had no answer for everything she's posed so far. She's just unfortunate that the ball she's put in the box haven't been turned home. James headed one wide, not really the play you want to find in the box. Alessia Russo had a few headers today, she's not been able to convert. But really strong performance from Lauren Hemp. Brilliant from England's front three. Just unstoppable by so far the Netherlands have found them. So really good first 45 minutes, and in a real contrast to what was a dismal showing against France.
Yeah, 100%. I think Lauren Hemp is usually the forgotten player for England, and I think overall people forget how good she is, because the fact we've barely seen her for the last season, but on her game at 110%, Lauren James is one of the most deadly players in the world, and I think people, I think obviously majority of people do recognise that, but some people do forget how good she is. Yes, she is keeping the likes of Mead and Kelly or whoever out the side, but there's a reason for that, because she is incredible on her day, and in that 45 minutes she really showed that, and if she can keep that up, I think she's bound to get a contribution at some point tonight. But to speak on Netherlands, I thought they have really struggled to contain England, but they've also struggled to get involved. England have controlled this from start to finish, and only one shot, 40% of the ball isn't good enough. And that's just not going to get you into the game. So Netherlands, they need to find a way to get a foothold on this match, because it just hasn't. I mean, again, to be honest, I don't think they've looked much worse than they did against Wales. But the problem is that the level of the opposition has increased massively. I don't think they're particularly brilliant against Wales. I thought they were good enough to get the job done, but they're not good. That good enough isn't good enough against England. So the Netherlands need to find another gear if they want to try and get something from this game, but they are really up against it now, needing at least 2 goals, and that's if England don't go on and push and score more.
It's easier to progress the ball, or it's easier to progress the ball when you are when you're playing against a team where you have a higher technical ceiling, you're a faster team, you're a more physical team. It's so easy to progress the ball. Tonight they can't. The only player for Netherlands who has covered themselves in any sort of glory has been Vicky Captain. I think she's done really well to carry that ball forward at times, and I think the most dribbles completed in the match so far. So she's the only one that's done anything for Netherlands. She keeps picking up the ball in deep areas and just driving it forward. That's been the only way they progress the ball. No one else for Netherlands has contributed anything, really. Yeah. I think Villa Berman's done well at times to deal with Alessia Russo in the penalty area, but other than that, just a really nothing first half. I think all of the front three struggled to have any sort of impact. Rord and Grant have barely touched the ball, as has Viviana Miedema. Grönen, I think, has just been stumped every time Toone's pressed her. It's just Netherlands are a yard behind England, you feel, every time they try and play out. It's just too slow. And England are so much, the intensity is so much higher for England at the moment. Netherlands unable to keep up, just keep losing possession. So, yeah, really difficult for Netherlands at the moment.
They're in a difficult spot. They're in a really difficult spot because if they go for it, then England are just going to find those gaps and tear them apart. But it's not quite working right now. They need to. Netherlands needs 5-10 minutes where they can get their foot on the ball and just start to slow this game down a little bit. But to be fair, that's not working because at the moment they're slowing it down too much, and England are just getting so high that Netherlands have nowhere to go.
Well, this is the thing, that the possession is night and day difference. 62% for England and 38% Netherlands. Now, you'd normally assume then that the passes would be similar as well. England would have something in the 300s, Netherlands barely 100. But Netherlands have made only 80 passes less than England. So what England's possession is a lot of the time is having time to hold onto the ball or dribble the ball. Netherlands at the moment is pass. Can we get the ball forward as quickly as possible with intricate passes? And those combinations haven't been too bad, but they really struggled to get past the halfway line.
Yeah.
And that's been a real issue so far for Netherlands. So England haven't been dominant in terms of they've just passed it around and recycled possession. They've been really efficient when they've got the ball. And oftentimes, we've seen like 30-second periods where Hannah just stands there and waits for the press, waits to draw that. We've not seen that for Van Donson. As soon as she gets the ball, it's played into centre half, and now can we try and move forward? So it's not necessarily that Netherlands are too slow. In a sense, they're too fast. They're not really, but they're not fast in the right moments. When they get into attacking areas, they're way too slow. And defensive areas, perhaps they're rushing it a little bit too much. But yeah, a lot of work to do for Netherlands. They've only mustered up one shot. Ultimately, not even have hit the target yet. You can't score playing that way.
No.
They've just been outperformed massively by England, which we should expect coming into this game, really.
Yeah, England have defended well. I think you mentioned Hannah Hampton there. An important game for her because obviously a lot of controversy and a lot of opinions over the weeks coming into the Euros. I think then a lot of pressure came into that France game. I think for some people she became the scapegoat because England lost, so it must be that Hannah Hampton's fault because it's not Mary Earps. But I think an important one for her today, if Hampton, a brilliant pre-assist for the first goal, a phenomenal pass, and again, showing why she is England's favourite
kind of ball
goalkeeper.
that deserves an assist on the statistics.
100%.
Spitzer's coming on, by the way, for the Netherlands.
But also, I think a clean sheet for England and for Hampton today would do them a solid. Just to get one under there, get Hannah Hampton her first Euros clean sheet, and England to not concede today would also show a lot of solidity and strength as a defensive unit. So I think important now for England to keep the level up, don't drop the standard, go out and get a couple more goals, make sure we don't concede at all, and potentially England in a position where they could walk off this pitch with a 3-0, 4-0 win.
Spitzer on, Dijkstra on, double change for Netherlands. Both defensive changes. My assumption then will be that Esme Bruggs will move to left wing.
Yeah.
Surely. If not, they are just setting up not to concede again, which would be really confusing. So I have to, I'd assume it's Berman and Rord coming off.
Yeah. We'll
have to wait and see. Positive change, you feel, if they are moving Bruggs high. And Beerenstein as well. Triple change at half time. Justified, I feel.
Yeah.
For Andreas Jonker.
I don't think Grant or Rord touched the ball. I forgot Rord was on the pitch, to be completely honest.
Grant is staying on. So I think this will see Miedemar or Beerenstein. It'll either be two up front, or we're going to see Miedemar drop a little bit deeper here. Esme Bruggs is off.
Wow.
That is a bizarre decision, I have to say. Like, even if you don't think she's had a great game at left back, just put her at left wing. She's one of your best attackers.
This is a good
reaction. Beerenstein will come onto the left wing instead.
For Rord, yeah. It's a decent reaction, but a triple and to bring off Bruggs seems a little bit panicked from Jonker.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the triple. I think all the changes are correct. I would have just gone a little more offensive, if anything, and rather than taking off Esme Bruggs, put her at left wing and move Beerenstein as another striker. But this, it will be interesting to see how this performs. But it may be a shape change. We'll have a look. Anyway, Netherlands to get us underway in this second 45. Waiting for the referee to whistle. No shape change. Passes it back and we're back underway. Yes, shape change. Netherlands move to a 3-5-2 to try and change this game then. So Grant right wing back, and then just trying to piece together what the Netherlands are doing here. Dijkstra at left wing back. That makes even less sense. If you're going to play a left wing back, your perfect left wing back is Esme Brooks.
Yeah.
I think the shape change is good. They'll now have a little more to fight with up front, and to match England with a situational back three will now struggle to deal with Netherlands playing a front two. So it's going to be interesting to see how Wiegman responds to that. But equally at the other end, England's front three now should have it easier against Netherlands back three, unless the wing backs can get back in time, obviously. But yeah, I think it's the right change. I just can't see why you'd put Dijkstra on for Brugge at this stage in the game. And actually, it's Dominic Janssen that's playing left wing back.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yonkers spun a wheel, I think, at half time to work that one out.
Yeah.
Van Doncelat out to the right hand side. Grant does well to keep it in touch. Kasperai unable to progress it as Hemp gets in front of that pass. It's out for Netherlands throw.
Kasperai has to deal with Hemp better this half. She really struggled.
So now she's got to do it with less support, though.
Yeah.
Unless Grant, who's naturally a right winger, can get back in. It feels very aggressive for Netherlands, which I like from Andreas Jonker, but not fully aggressive because he's put a centre-back / defence midfielder at left wing-back.
So there we go.
If you thought Mark Skinner playing players out of position was bad, welcome to Netherlands. Here is Janssen, unable to make anything happen down that left-hand side. Deemed a foul there, though, and gets away with one. Didn't think that was too much in that from James, but enough for the referee to deem that a foul.
Yeah, just a bit late there on Janssen as she shifted the ball.
Yeah.
But important for Netherlands if they can try and settle into this half early doors. And, well, for England, they will be hoping to pick up where they left off in that first half.
Well, Netherlands readying more changes. Danielle van der Donk warming up. Spitzer over this one then for the Netherlands. Can she pick out an orange shirt in the area? We'll lift it into the box. Straight into the gloves, though, of Hannah Hampton. And while Beerenstein makes contact with the England goalkeeper, and Hampton will take this moment. May have been caught there, I think, by Lynette Beerenstein.
Not a bad ball in from Spitzer, but well claimed by Hampton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Not sure there was loads of contact.
No.
Hampton perhaps milking this a little bit.
Yes.
Ball goes forward. Bronson able to get there. Knocked out of play by Dijkstra. She's got a tough job on her hands. Dijkstra got to come in and deal with what has been an onslaught down England's right-hand side.
Yes.
Here's Russo. Good hold up. Back heel into Toon. Does well to hold on to the ball. Wants to knock it wide here. Plays a pass to Greenwood, who goes wider into Hemp. He'll come inside now. Wants to take on Kasperai. Kasperai charges that down much better and blocks across.
Not bad that from England. Moved it well from right to left. And have won themselves a corner. And again, a third goal early on in this second half, you feel would just take any kind of hope away from Netherlands.
Yeah. So a ball now from Greenwood. Going to be swung in again. Not a bad delivery. Bronze unable to make much contact with it. Walsh will get there. Bronze will stop anyone being able to rush out and prevent it. Cross though seen away. Toon into the penalty area. Spitzer gets her head on it. Williamson will keep this alive. Greenwood lifting it to the back post. Alessia Russo heads home. But the flag is up. And that one will not stand. Well worked move. Russo headed home. Disallowed for offside. VAR will double check. I'd love to see a replay.
Here we go.
Did the offside?
Get back on? Oh, is it?
The initial one's fine.
Oh, no. It'll be.
Now I'm trying to see if it's.
No, it'll be Williamson who's picked it up from an offside position when the ball got played across, I think. Yeah. Well, they could have a look
I
at
was
it.
going to say, I don't think. Yeah, it's
no.
offside.
Yeah.
Vegan again. Not
I mean, yeah, I think they get away with it. No, that's. I have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, it has been
Let's
given.
call it offside. So an interesting one.
Yeah, I think Netherlands have got again.
Now Williamson deemed offside in the build-up.
It comes down. It comes down to your definition of deliberately playing the ball. But I would argue the Netherlands defender has deliberately tried to head the ball away there and just got it wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an interesting one.
Stanway feeling a bit of discomfort there. I think he's just caught in a challenge.
Mm.
Won't stop her chasing this one down though. She puts pressure on Palova. Back now to Van Donselaar out to the right-hand side. Here is Palova, Kasparai down the line.
Brilliant.
Nice
England just warm them. And to be fair, the Netherlands have done well to play out of that.
The intensity in the performance from the France game to this one has been a remarkable improvement.
Oh, 100%.
Just completely different.
Looks like two different teams attacking the field.
Yeah.
Yet it is the same 10 players plus 2. And it just shows why again, there's still 40 minutes to go here, but it shows why England didn't need to hit the panic button or overreact or didn't suddenly become the worst nation in the world overnight. Just needed to get back to that level.
Adjustments,
and
a bit more intensity, really.
It's football, it happens. Again, brilliant defending from Stanway and draws the foul from captain.
Reports, by the way, of fans chanting England's #1 behind the goal as well today. That's what you love to hear.
And that's what it needs, because at the end of the day, favourites aside, Hampton is now England's #1, so you get behind her like any other goalkeeper. Anna Morehouse could put the gloves on against Wales, and you get behind her because she's in goal for England.
I wouldn't chart England's #1.
No, I wouldn't.
But I agree that Hampton is the #1 goalkeeper. On merit, people will say that, Mary Earps included, will say that it should still be Earps. But ultimately, I just disagree. She's been out in Paris this season where she's been a team that's not been able to compete domestically or even in Europe.
But again, even so, I think Mary Earps will be the first one to tell you that if Hannah Hampton's in goal, you cheer her on and you back her because she's in goal for your country. I know it's only a very small selection of people that, for some reason, but still,
she will do it from home, obviously, but she will do it.
Yeah,
probably.
I just think that I don't think it'll never matter who's on the pitch for your country. Like again, I don't think Jess Carter should have played today, but as soon as she puts that England shirt on, she walks out, you get behind her and you back her.
So there's no doubting that Williamson is offside here, of course. It's not like the first one. The argument is whether or not the defender placed the ball, which I think is what Vegan is claiming there.
I think the thing is what they view that is because the Netherlands defender skimmed it and it went wide, they don't think she's meant to try to play the ball or hasn't. I guess the argument would be if she hasn't deliberately tried to play the ball in that direction. But again, I don't like that. It's like when you see those ones where the ball gets played through to someone who's offside, the defender makes a tackle and gets a slight touch on it. It's like they've skimmed it, but they have tried to play the ball, so it's a difficult one.
Yeah. Here come Netherlands. Palova has options left and right. Victoria Palova takes aim, blocked well. Hampton trying to stop that going out from a corner there, but unable to do so. That will be a Netherlands corner. First time I've really seen Netherlands win the ball high at the field. A little bit of overplaying, you think, from Hemp and Walsh.
Yeah, I think Hemp just didn't realize where she was on the pitch. To cut inside there on the halfway line is a risky thing to do, because when you lose the ball like that, you cut inside when you're on the edge of the area. Perfect, that's absolutely fine. That's what you want Hemp to do. But cutting inside when you're on the halfway line is risky, and it nearly hurt England there.
So Sheridan Spitz over this one. Puts into the box, headed away. Netherlands try and get the ball down. Now Kasparai goes back to Van Donselaar. Here's Glernen. Having a little out of position here for Netherlands, as they just settle into possession. Spitzer. Now Van Donselaar.
I think it's an important 10 minutes because I think Netherlands have definitely looked better since the shape change, but I'd say England are still looking the better side. And that's important because if Netherlands have come out the first 10 minutes and got on top, then this could be a very different second half.
Ball down the left-hand side. Bronze there using her pace to recover it back. Tries to see it out. Not sure what she's doing there.
Falling over again. That's what happens. She's falling over the football.
Well, I don't know what she's trying to do.
Oh, and then she's fallen.
She's hurt herself there. She tries to do something.
Oh, she sits over.
What she's trying to do there is back into Janssen, go down and get a free kick for it.
But she's just fallen over.
But she just, because she's not close enough to Janssen, she doesn't fall back into Janssen. She just sits down. In the process, ends up kicking the ball off the pitch. Netherlands corner now. Ball in. And that is good. Well dealt with by Williamson, then cleared away by Russo. You do just feel, regardless of how good she's looked coming forwards today, Lucy Bronze is a liability in defence.
But even so today, though, she's looked so much more comfortable against France. If she'd recovered, if she'd recovered against France like she has done today, then England wouldn't have had a problem. And
even if she just hadn't passed it to Baltimore.
Yes, and that's what's frustrating me about Bronze's performance, because she's proven today that she can very adequately defend. It just annoys me that in that opening game, she just, I'm not going to say refused to defend, but just didn't do it.
I would still have doubts, however, about her ability to competently defend, adequately perhaps, but at that high level, I still don't think so. But she contributes so much going forwards for England that she's still an important player. That's brilliant from Jessica.
At the end of the day, England have got the players where as long as she adequately defends, then England can deal with that.
I can't see her at the next World Cup, to be honest. I think that would be one too far.
She has played a lot of international tournaments.
Well, that's because she's come through at a young age and never really got injured ever.
And England are no right back.
Yeah. I mean, still to this day, the backup for this tournament is a centre half.
It was be Ella Morris, and then she went to ACL. But again, I don't think Ella Morris would have started. She might not have even made the final cut anyway. And
if anyone says, if only we had Taylor Hines or Ash Neville, please give your head a wobble, perhaps. Here's Casper, right. But Ella Morris will be one to target for the future. I'm gutted about her ACL. It's probably going to see her out for the season.
Yeah, set her back a year, which is a massive shame.
And this season she likely would have been the starter for Tottenham. Instead,
well, I'd like to think so.
The first problem for Martin Ho is going to be at right back.
I think Ella Morris with an ACL injury might even still start.
It's Dominic Janssen.
Netherlands just
trying to turn the ball over. Netherlands will come forwards down the left-hand side. Here's Pullover. Great delivery to the back post. Put across by Grant. Netherlands unable to keep that in touch. Well, actually, I think she may have done there.
And this is what we saw in the France game. I thought England came out in the second half and looked pretty good, but then it fell away again. And you look at it now, leggy, really leggy, because the Netherlands are getting more of the ball in the middle of the park. Their captain had loads of space.
Needs changes.
Because the likes of Stanway and Hemp and James, who have just come back from injury, I haven't seen either of those three in the second half.
The other thing there is Alex Greenwood. She's nowhere near her marker. And that's a sign of not playing a natural position and just coming back from injury.
Yeah.
Russo holds the ball up well down this right-hand side. After Netherlands' most promising period, could England sting back quickly? Bronze. Yeah, as you said, I've not seen Lauren James in the second half. She has swapped with Hemp, though. Hemp, great movement. Plays it into Russo. Russo can't convert. Boom, what a miss. Lauren James, great finish. Tucks it away with class. And England lead now by 3-0. In clinical for everyone else. But Lauren James just receives it in the middle of the penalty area, unopposed, with Netherlands players falling to the floor around her, and tucks it home wonderfully. Russo couldn't make contact. Toon somehow striking that as the only player in front of her. And then it falls to Lauren James. Right place, right time. And she finishes it off with the calmest of finishes right into the bottom corner. England 3, Netherlands 0. Lauren James to the brace.
And just as we say, we haven't seen either of them. Hemp bursts down the right-hand side, cuts it across the box, and then Lauren James scores a goal. Toon's reaction, by the way, was hilarious there. It was very much like, oh, we've scored, but I've just missed a sitter in the build-up. But doesn't matter. England have a third, and that is an important goal, because just as Netherlands were gaining a little bit of momentum and working their way back into the game. The counter-punch from the Lionesses, and they are back into control of this match. Exactly what it needed. What an hour we have seen so far from England. But now, rather than letting the standard drop, while the standard is high, bring on changes that can keep it that high standard.
Yeah, I'd say Lauren James now comes off. As much as I'd love to see her get a hat-trick, just keep playing. I don't think we've seen her in the second half until she just arrives in the penalty area and finishes it off tidily.
Even the finish was a little bit lethargic, but it was like, not lethargic,
the bottom
but
corner. That's what she does. It's
calm.
Her trademark, really, of just playing the game of football, making it look easy.
But yeah, I'm looking at, I think I'll be looking at Laetitia into the back line. I'll be looking at Chloe Kelly onto that right-hand side.
Don't make me laugh. So you'd have even bring Laetitia on.
Or Esme Morgan. That's not, another.
More likely.
Yeah.
Russo picks up on a loose ball. Strong tackle from Spitzer. She's won the ball cleanly there, I felt.
Yeah, she got the ball, but Russo would feel the effect of it.
Play though, as Russo's down.
And I was about to say keep Russo on, because as much as you've got Agumang and it's actually Russo. The tackle's fair. It's in that Russo falls on the ball and kind of twists her ankle under the football. Hopefully she was right. But yeah, as much as I was about to say before she went down there though, I'd like to get Russo a goal today.
Yeah, still 2 assists though, and this could have been a goal, and she has had the ball in the back of the net. So
it's true. Yeah.
I still think an immense contribution. I'd rather see her.
And you got the Wales game as well, where she should score a couple.
If you start, it's decisive still, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, England in cruise control now. But yeah, now is the time. Use the squad. We had Toon and Russo in 2022. Turn Beaver, Jones, and Kelly into the new. That's not quite going to fit into a song, but bring energy on now for England. Get those changes in.
Yeah, Chloe Kelly and Beaver Jones. Just about work.
Just about. But yeah, Park as well maybe for Stan or Clinton for Stanway. But also I think it makes a lot of sense. That'd be my 3. I'd go Morgan or Laetitia into the back line. I'd go Clinton in for Stanway and Kelly in for LJ.
Yeah. My prediction will be Bronze will play 90 minutes. Morgan will come on for Greenwood.
No, Bronze will get 89. Laetitia will get a minute.
No.
Or Carter will go right back and Charles come on at left back. And then Greenwood will go in centre half.
Any chance not to see?
Yeah.
Not to see my Laetitia. Beacon will take it. But yeah, if you're watching along, get in the live chat. Let us know what changes you want to see. Great to see everyone celebrating the goal again as well. Forgot to mention, here come England looking for a 4th. Lauren James. She's hungry for a hat-trick. She won't get it here, though. Failing there to take the ball past Dominique Janssen and Dijkstra. They recovered well. Grant wants it up nicely. Greenwood's a little too assertive.
Don't mind that, though. That area of the pitch especially. And again, just smart from Greenwood. Doesn't dive in, but just takes a few nibbles, and she commits a foul, but it's well into the Netherlands half, and it's not going to threaten England. It's not a bad foul that at all.
Yeah. Now Netherlands on the left-hand side.
Again, I think the other thing that England have got is just managing the game, not forcing it, not overplaying it, not trying to take on stupid passes.
Ball sent long, looking for the run there of Chastity Grant, and that will roll out of play for an England goal kick. Netherlands trying to play too direct today.
Yeah.
They're trying to force the ball a lot. They're really struggling against England's high press.
They're doing exactly
They've had more of the ball in the second half, but that's natural. You expect to see teams, when they're in a winning state, have less possession. On average, teams drop possession by around 4% for every goal they score. So it's not unnatural to see Netherlands have more of the ball. And yeah, we're seeing England here just letting their foot off the gas a little, still looking dangerous. That, though, slightly overhit from Georgia Stanway, trying to pick out Alessia.
For me today, Netherlands have done what England did against France. They've overplayed it, they've forced it, they've panicked, especially in defensive areas when they've
not defended wide areas.
Yeah, they're not defended. They've dived in. It really hasn't been a good performance from Netherlands, but obviously not taking any credit away from England. They have played very well. I still don't think it's been perfect England. Like I'm talking Euro 2022 final, the semi-final against Sweden. That's perfect England, but it's been much better.
A very poignant substitution. Daniel Van Dijk on for Viviana Miedema. As Lewis in chat says, Miedemar, stinker and hooked. A player who contributed immensely against Wales, but has not touched the ball today.
Yeah, stepped up brilliantly against Wales to find that first goal just at the end of the first half. But today has been pocketed by Jess Carter, and I half owe Jess Carter an apology because I think that if she had started at left back, she would have struggled again. But she has played much better today as that left centre half, or as that middle centre half in the back three, and as the left centre half in the back four. So it's a credit to her because she's done well. Well done, Wiegman, for backing Carter again, but also backing Carter, but making sure that change was a pretty promising one.
Me, they're looking slightly disinterested. I can't wait to see how the Daily Mail spins that one tomorrow morning. Angry Beth Mead refuses to watch on as England teammates win. Ball in behind, looking for Alessia Russo, bearing in on goal. Goes a little bit wide. Can she pick out a teammate in the box? Cuts it to the edge. Toon controls it. Takes aim, and Ella Toon scores. And this is becoming a rout for England. England 4, Netherlands 0. And Netherlands watch on in anguish. And Phil predicted 5-0 at the top of the show. May well be correct at this rate. England with some excellent football. Netherlands unable to compete.
Netherlands have gone for the game and have been caught out massively. What a ball. This is from Jess Carter. Again, brilliant timing of the run and movement from Russo.
She may not have scored, but 3 assists today for Alessia Russo. Shows how immensely she contributes to this England team. And Ella Toon, tidy
and again,
finish.
It shows where Ella Toon is at right now because January Ella, she's overran it, but she recovers it brilliantly to find the bottom corner of her weak foot.
Donson's got to do better.
She has, and I think there's a couple of them. But overall for Netherlands, it has been really poor. They've gone for the game and been torn apart. But England, this is a performance of very high quality and very much silencing those opinions and those critics with a brilliant performance. Everyone getting involved. Front four have been absolutely brilliant. They've all contributed, I believe. Apart from, did Lauren Hemp get involved? But even so, it's been absolutely brilliant. And now England out of sight and looking to make changes.
Hemp would have had a contribution if her ball into the box was finished off by Russo.
Yes.
Or if any of her crosses were finished off by anyone. But hasn't. Yeah, she's still been incredible. Kevin Coulson to the stream says, get in, now all about squad and game management, definitely. England looking to push on though. It's Chloe Kelly coming on. That's the first change.
That should be Lauren James.
That has to be, surely.
Again, was it 60 minutes against France, 67 against LJ? It's smart. It's just managing those minutes as we head in towards the knockouts.
Hopefully about 20 minutes against Wales should be enough.
Yeah. This should be Lauren James. If it's someone else, I'd be surprised. And it is, yeah.
Lauren James making way for the Lionesses.
Good squad management from Serena Wiegman, that is.
A brace today for Lauren James. She's looked excellent.
Yeah.
Just so composed. Both finishes of high quality.
But I think also both her goals showed the variety and the all-round ability she has. The first one was a brilliantly struck effort, powered into the top corner. And the second one was a lovely little tidy finish into the bottom corner, just placement. And it's a player that has that range of ability, such a variety that can be a game changer for England. And she showed that in 60, 70 minutes here today.
Yeah, definitely. Ball up the line. Russo does really well to come away with the ball. Dragged down in there by Dijkstra. And that will be an England free kick.
Yeah, first yellow card of the match as well, heading the way of the Netherlands defender. But Alessia Russo has been so good today.
Yeah.
Has caused all sorts of problems. 3 assists. Could have had a goal disallowed. Won a free kick there. It's just brilliance from Russo. And this is England when it all starts to come together. And again, all the people who panicked and overreacted and thought we were going to get grouped or that Serena should be sacked and that the squad needed an overhaul and that Mary Earps and Ellen White should be brought back. Just, this is where England are at. This is what England have. And I think Lauren James is enjoying this lap of the pitch in Zurich. Because that was a really well played performance.
Yeah, excellent showing from Lauren James. Now England looking to deliver this ball, and it's Greenwood over this again.
This could get messy for Netherlands. 20 to play.
Ball into the box, and Bronze was the player trying to meet it. Into the area. Not dealt with by Netherlands at all there. Dijkstra gets it clear. But that will bounce out of play for an England throw-in. There is an offside in there, though, on Bronze, who was involved in that, so it will be a free kick.
Makes sense. Not much she could have done with it. She was kind of just stood in the way.
It's just stood offside and couldn't really go anywhere. So one of those where it's harsh, but she does have some impact on why the Netherlands players took it out of play. So,
but I tell you what, this is Netherlands have not played well today. Do not get me wrong, but for England to play in the manner they have and to respond to that defeat against France has been very impressive.
Yeah.
And now it means that realistically, with a very healthy goal difference at +3, with Wales still to come, England have just got to win, and it shouldn't matter what happens elsewhere. Doesn't matter what happens tonight or what happens in the France-Netherlands game on Sunday. England have just got to do their job now.
Yeah, in chat, Andy hoping for a Chloe Kelly goal. Kevin saying the closing down's been top notch from England today. Yeah, incredible out of possession stuff. The pressing's been so strong. The structure and the intensity behind England's pressing today. The press as a unit rather than just as Alessia Russo, and it's paid dividends. They've worked really hard today. They've won the ball back constantly, and Netherlands haven't been able to play out. Johanna's, how did you see Georgia today? Her goal obviously was a banger, but did you notice the difference between her performance now and before the injury? Definitely a little more laboured than before the injury, but still a huge step up. Clearly, she's just getting through those gears now in her recovery and looked a lot better today. I think she's been able to contribute more in and out of possession than she did in the last match, and has looked a lot fitter. So important one for Georgia Stanway.
Yeah, I think her and Welsh have been much better. I think there's a lot of criticism, and overall, I mean, Karen Kearney said at full time that England got bullied against France, and she was right. But and it was because England just didn't work hard enough. But in this game, England have brought the intensity, they've brought the aggression, they've stepped onto Netherlands, and have just dictated this game from start to finish. And a testament to Stanway and Walsh, because I think they've stepped up brilliantly. Everyone stepped up, obviously, but that midfield was non-existent against France. But tonight, that pivot has ran the show and allowed the front four to excel.
Kirsten Kasperai trying to pick out Pullover in the midfield. One back there by Greenwood. Now Hemp, Greenwood. Ball up the line and in behind now looking for the run of Alessia Russo. Dijkstra sends it home and England can keep the press on. High at the field here. Russo putting her under one high at the pitch by Stanway. How much she knew about it, I'm not sure in the end. Spitzer almost heading out of play. Dan Van Donstad as well to collect it. And so with 18 to play, Netherlands nowhere.
You just feel what you worry.
Williamson steps up well. Here's Hemp. Carries it forwards. Kasperai cutting it out. Dijkstra. Back to Van Domselaar. Lifts it to Janssen. Now Pullover. There's Vika Kaptein. Knocks it wide into Kasperai. Carter will get there. Now back to Hannah Hampton. He'll just lift that ball forwards and able to be kept in touch.
Yeah, you're worried for Netherlands what France might be capable of doing to them on Sunday.
Changes come the way as well for England. Yeah, definitely. Mead and Clinton. Good to see. Presumably that'll be for Hemp and Stanway too, but also just back from injury.
Again, smart squad management from Wiegman, and that's the thing. So she's getting the injured players off for the more squad players.
Ball in, head away well by Williamson. Going to drop now for Grant. Can she make something happen? Hemp getting back in, defending well. Going to force Netherlands deeper here. Here's Sherida Spitzer. Not the result she would have wanted to come on to in her 254th cap.
No.
The only player I think who can rival Lucy Bronze for tournaments competed in. Perhaps that's Lani as well. Nigel says, got to just manage the game and see out the clean sheet now. Definitely. Goal difference, this is really healthy. England will be on to a +3, Netherlands into a -1. And so even if Netherlands were to beat France, which based on this performance looks unlikely, or of course if Wales can take the game to Le Bleu later.
Join us for that one. Maybe Wales can provide something.
You never know.
And give England a helping hand in that regard.
Indeed. England then be in a position where they could top the group.
Yeah. Is that going to happen? Probably not.
Probably no.
But, we can dream.
Hannah Hampton now to send this forwards for England. Looking for Alessia Russo. Headed away by Spitzer. Into Beardenstein. Offside there. Sloppy that offside on Vika Kaptein. Antonio up to the screen said, what the hell Netherlands doing? It's less what they're doing and more about what's being done to them. England dominated them on the ball and kept them quiet when Netherlands have had the ball.
Yeah.
Really good in and out of possession football today from England. Clinical and fast moving in attack. Aggressive and intense without the ball.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Frustrating for Netherlands because, Matchweek won with Wales. They put themselves in a good position, but now they've got a bit of work to do.
Here's Stanway out to the left-hand side. Beth Mead now. Can she cut inside? Shots blocked. Now wants to play out. Captain. Carter launches one forwards, and that's how to play for Netherlands throw.
Yeah, England made, 3 changes? That's the thing, so, prioritise getting the injured players off. For me, I'd probably look at, getting Greenwood off for Morgan or Charles or somebody, and then it'll probably be Beaver Jones or Aguiman for Russo.
Walsh. Nice pirouette, loses possession though. Netherlands now driving forwards. Lovely spin again there from Vika Kaptein and out to the right-hand side. Here's Spitzer. But yeah, and they go back. They just can't find a way through yet to register a shot on target in this game.
Wow.
And from England's 5 shots on target, 4 have gone in.
It's not bad.
Well, you'd want England to put more than 5 shots on target.
How many shots they had overall?
15.
Oh, okay.
Lovely dancing Fee into the box. Pullover did well. The cross was good, decent. Netherlands unable to convert just behind Lynette Beardenstein. Towards gone out of play for an England throw. This is lovely from Victoria Pullover. Just tying Williamson up in knots. Probably could have gone for goal there rather than across it.
Yeah, glimpses for Netherlands, but that is probably, I say glimpses, it's probably the only glimpse we've seen in the second half. Not been good enough, and they will need a reaction against France, who, we expect played very well against England. We expect to play very well against Wales, and will look to be taking 9 points from a possible 9.
Yeah.
But I think that we always knew this group would be difficult for England. When you're in the group of death, it's very rare that any side picks up 9 points from 9. France may do it, but it's called a group of death for a reason. It was always going to be difficult for every side in it.
Yeah. Lucky says, please tell me what would happen if all ended on 6 points. Well, Wales couldn't. If Wales and France both can't end on 6 points, there's no way that all 4 teams can end on 6 points. Obviously, if it was 3 teams joint on 6 points, Netherlands, England, and France, then it would be down to goal difference, since they would all cancel each other out. England would have head-to-head over Netherlands, France would have head-to-head over England, and in that situation, Netherlands had head-to-head over France. So that would just be null and void.
Yeah.
It would then go to the next parameter, which is goal difference. So this is why the head-to-head doesn't serve too much purpose. It's only if it's 2 teams level on points that it does. So in a situation where perhaps the group was 6, and then 4-4-1 or something, doesn't math, but 7-4-4-1, then it would come down to the head-to-head between those 2 sides on 4 points. For example, in the Finland and Switzerland group, if it wasn't Finland and Switzerland meeting in this last game week, it could come down to that.
Yeah.
And it could come down to it won't matter, it could have come down to it in Group B. Ultimately, the head-to-head will not have any part to play in any of the groups. But there you go. The only one it could do is Germany, Sweden, but even then it has to be a draw.
Yeah.
So it can't. So
I get it. I get why it's there, because if it wasn't there, it would feel a bit harsh if you end up getting knocked out. But if you finish level with a side that you beat and then didn't go through, that would feel a bit harsh. But yeah, it's very rare that very rare you get a scenario where it is needed.
Yeah, it'd only be one of those rare ones. Here's Kelly, plays the ball in behind, looking now for the run of Georgia Stanway. Bursts through, but I can't quite hold on to it. The only way it could happen is if Wales were to win tonight, and it would see all teams on 3 points, and then say England and France won next week, then it would come down then to the head-to-head between England and France.
It's who top the group, yeah.
And then in which case England would be ahead. That relies on France losing later to Wales. So this is the thing. It's not going to come down to head-to-head in any of the games. The only one it could come down to would realistically be England and France now. And even that doesn't feel particularly realistic.
But yeah, it's good to see. I think I like what we've got in Group A, where it is a straight shootout for qualification.
Or England and Netherlands, if France win tonight and both games in Matchweek 3 are draws. But England might just then score another one against Wales.
Yeah.
And if that was the eventuality, England would go for a head-to-head. So we've not really seen head-to-head have any impact to this tournament, but it's there if needed. Great chance there. A lovely play from England. Welsh into Russo. Russo gets a shot away at goal. Not, though, able to threaten, really. Lovely play between Stanway and Welsh. Russo, well-driven effort, but straight at the goalkeeper.
Not quite got that. Hasn't got that first goal yet, Russo, but you can't complain about 3 assists today. Absolutely stellar from Russo. We say she's a striker that is so good at bringing others into the game. A great facilitator. That's exactly what she's done today. Been so involved in everything England have done.
Yeah, this feels similar to judging Netherlands' performance. Feels similar to judging England's performance the other night, where they've been bad, but that's been compounded massively by how good the opposition have been.
Yes.
England do really well there. I thought that was going to be a corner. Referee doesn't want to see one. Goal kick for Netherlands.
And England.
Change is coming. Oh, look at that. It's both the players that we've got on our shirts. Charles and Beaver Jones coming on. And that will be Alessia Russo and then either Carter or Greenwood making way.
85 quid well spent to play 8 minutes. Come on.
That's Lucy Bronze coming up. So they're making a change at right back. Who's going to go there? Not my Letizia.
2 smart changes. 2 big players for England. Rest them up for 7 minutes.
So Charles is going straight to right back here, which is
fine. Seen that. So she did that in the warm up friendly.
She is
did it in the opening game.
Right footed, I think, Niamh Charles.
She can do it all.
But yes.
For up front. Don't do that. We've got enough quality in forward areas.
3 good strikers this tournament. We're playing Niamh Charles up there for the bants.
Maybe it is the fix to England's lack of a right back options problem. It's just to play Niamh Charles there.
You should play left back then.
Well, Alex Greenwood, not Jess Carter. Definitely Alex Greenwood.
It'll be interesting to see England's fullbacks going forwards. I do think by 27, Poppy Pattinson will probably.
That's a long way away.
That's the next major tournament.
Yeah, I don't think that next. We're in the group stage of the Euros. I'm not thinking like the World Cup.
You talk about solving the England right back problem. Shot from range over the bar.
Right now, I want to enjoy the brilliant football.
I'm not wishing the time away at all. I'm loving how England are playing this evening. I'm just saying, if we're looking at England's right back problem, realistically, 27 is going to be the pressure point. I think hopefully by then we'll have Morris and we'll have Poppy Pattinson in the England squad.
Yes.
Change now. Damara Segurola is going to get a go for Netherlands.
Are you surprised at her lack of involvement so far at this tournament across 2 games?
I spoke to Jan Keys about this, who, for those of you who don't know, is the Dutch journalist who I will be messaging after this game with a few laughing emojis. But no, I spoke to him about this, and she's not considered or rated highly by the Netherlands. She's not done well on the international stage historically. So
wow, fair enough.
Yeah, again, I was very similar. I'd have assumed she'd be a starting and key player given how good she is, but hasn't performed well on the international stage. That's why Jackie Gernon is preferred. But now there will be a change as Gernon comes off and Egarola comes in.
Wow. I mean, it just surprises me. I think Jackie Gronon's a good player, but I think Egarola's better.
Yeah.
5 to play plus additional time. England just seeing an emphatic victory through. I mean, a 5th would be stellar, and they're coming forwards once again.
Beaver Jones scrapping away for the ball. She thinks she was fouled in there. Not given. Will be an England throw-in.
Her shirt was pulled all the way by Pelova. Bit of an obvious one, that, you feel?
Yeah. Arsenal tax.
And the woman fanning herself very slowly. No, that's in slow motion.
I was going to say, everyone's moving really slowly this afternoon. Sluggish in the crowd.
Yeah. It is a hot one.
Tell me about it.
Compared to the rain we've seen over the last couple of days in Switzerland.
We should rent this studio out as a sauna during the summer months.
We've had a lot of money.
Be minted. And they're trying to come forwards. Egarola. It's just... How do you commentate over England just being really good at pressing?
Yeah.
But yeah, much improved performance from the Lionesses.
Yeah.
Brilliant from Walsh to win that heart of the pitch. England have an overload again. Feeds it through to Aggie Beever-Jones. Now out to Mead to the back post. Kelly can't meet it. What a great ball from Beth Mead. Here's Kasparai.
I'd love to know where all the keyboard warriors have gone that were like, oh, I told you so. Marriott should be in goal. They should play us free in there. All this and that. Just relax. Look what England can do. Absolute class today.
Yeah.
Too many people just threw opinions to the wall. But luckily they were just shouting at shadows.
I can't wait for the immediate 180 as well from the media. Oh, the Lionesses in trouble too. Amazing Lionesses, coast past the Netherlands. And I get it, it's sensationalist articles do better. But yeah, I think people failed to recognise what the problems were, and they've all been patched up really for England, so it's looking good. Admittedly, Netherlands have been fairly abysmal.
Yes, they have, and that is a caveat. And again, I think we'll potentially see the same in Matchweek 3.
Are you doubting that Wales could test England, Harry?
A little bit. We'll see what Wales can give France tonight.
What makes you doubt them?
I don't know. I think the way they lost 3-0 to Netherlands.
We're now losing 4-0.
Yeah.
It doesn't reflect well on Wales.
They got France. I mean, if France plays better against England, Wales could be in for a tough one tonight.
Yeah, I think it could look more like a tennis score. Similar to the Spain-Belgium game.
Yeah.
Well, I thought, that's the first set. What happens now?
At least it was a competitive set, to be fair. Wales got a couple of games on the board.
Yeah.
France might just bagel them.
They got the first hit, they got an early break, and then Spain just hit aces for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And then it was a medical retirement.
Yeah, I think France could hand the bagel to Wales tonight. But we'll see what
Poland became the first side in Euros history to fail to score a goal in their first 2 matches. Wales will likely follow suit.
I hate that stat because that sounds like Poland played really poorly.
I completely agree. And I saw someone make the same point of saying this is a fairly poor representation of the statistics. They've played 2 of the best teams at the tournament.
And they created loads of chances, and it wasn't for Angerton Berger.
And Gillian Gwyn literally rupturing at MCL to deny them. Hampton sends it forwards.
Just need to see his clean sheet through England and Hampton. I can believe also in the France game it was 5 Euro debuts for England. Lauren James hadn't played the Euros before, obviously. But you forget about things like that. Grace Clinton, Hannah Hampton, Agyemang, obviously, and
I've had 2 of them are subs. I thought you meant starters. I was trying to go. I was thinking, what?
Who was the 5th?
People forget just how long 4-year cycles are, though.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like. I mean, it's only been 3 years, I suppose.
That's true.
It doesn't feel like it's been 3 years since Euro 2022.
Yeah, it's weird as well, isn't it? Because I think it's a problem in the international stage of players staying on too long.
Yes.
I felt like a lot of the media reaction to Bronze's performance was that she stayed on too long.
But also it goes the other way. I think the amount of people that were shocked to not see Renard and Le Sommer for France That, at the end of the day, that made sense. I love Sheridan Spitzer, but
there's a reason she doesn't start.
Yeah, she's played 254 times. Is that not enough?
Yeah. Just stop at 250, really. Do you need to play any more? Netherlands coming forwards. 3 minutes of additional time in this game. Netherlands looking for what would be a consolation at this stage. Here is Greenwood. Ball into the channel. Beaver Jones will give chase. Spitzer needed very little encouragement to go down there. Kevin calls us for player of the game. Well, that is something we haven't done on the channel for a very long time. Should we do it?
Yeah, has to be Alessia Russo. 3 assists. Absolutely brilliant. I say has to be, like there isn't any other. There are a lot of options, but for me...
The whole team. Like it's under 9.
Yeah, we'll give them all a sticker and a sweet. No, I think Russo, for me, was unplayable. 3 assists, brilliant movement, brilliant hold-up, and just again... And could have had a goal for herself, but just the variety and the mix of style that Russo had to her game means that she's such a dangerous forward.
Yeah, fair enough. But I'd say Lauren James, I think she's been excellent today. The 2 goals, the first, a strike of sheer quality. The second, a tidy, composed finish. We saw her range today. We saw Lauren James not even playing at 50%, and she was unplayable. That's the thing with Lauren James.
She's probably a bit higher than 50.
I don't think she went past a light jog.
I don't think she was at... Yeah, that's just where she plays. That's where she plays the game. I wouldn't say she was at half her ability today. I think she was a bit better than that.
No, that's not... No, but what I'm saying, I think there's another 50% of Lauren James. I think she was excellent today, but I think she's such a good player that... You know, she didn't say her picking up the ball and taking it past 5. Well, she could have scored a triple hat-trick, but I think that's... I'm joking, obviously. But, like, I think there is more to see from James.
Yeah.
Today was an incredible performance when she's still nowhere near 100%. That's for certain. Maybe 50% is an exaggeration, but she's still nowhere near 100%.
No, I agree. I don't think Stanway is either. I don't think Greenwood is either. And Hemp, maybe Hemp is getting there because she's probably been back the longest and has played a lot more minutes than the others. But yeah, it's encouraging to see that the likes of Stanway and Greenwood and Rat James can still perform when they're not at full, peak performance.
Greenwood hasn't shown too much, to be fair. I think injuries show less with defenders.
Yes.
Especially in a game where you win 4-0, it's quite difficult to look leggy. But she wasn't the one that got caught out in the France game either, to be fair.
No.
Ball pinged in behind, looking for the run of Beaver Jones. Not a targeted ball there, just one for England that is lobbed along. Here's Dijkstra. Yeah, the chat split across Russo and Lauren James. I think that's a fair assessment of the game.
Yeah.
And well, congrats to the 80% of people that said England would win today. The only shame is that isn't higher. That is the full-time whistle. England 4, Netherlands 0. Almost a 5-star performance from the Lionesses, but it was fairly flawless. And England moving through this competition, getting through the gears, and now with a very favourable tie in that last game to qualify, you'd back England to get through the group stage now. Really strong performance for the confidence of this Lionesses team and for the fans. I think one that brings them back to a really happy and comfortable level with England. A bit of fear after what was a less than convincing showing in the last game, but that was a strong performance from the Lionesses.
Yeah, really good play from England, and as you say, just taking a load of the pressure off, silencing those critics and getting back to near their best. And that was very much a performance that we expect to see from the reigning champions, and clearly putting the France game behind them, thriving on that pressure, using it. And now England are in a very good spot to go on into Matchweek 3, beat Wales in the final group game and qualify into the quarterfinals. But job half done, but a very, very solid performance from England.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone that has joined us in this stream. Gretchen says thanks. Says Russo was great. I'd be happy with either her or James. Says thanks, guys. Kevin says great commentary. Enjoyed your company. And Andy says thank you, mate. So appreciate all the kind comments in the live chat. Remember, we are covering every single match at this Women's Euro. So join us later on for France versus Wales in about 50 minutes' time. If you're not joining us for that, then look out tomorrow when we'll be back with our Match Week 2 review. So look out for that tomorrow morning, depending on how quickly we can get that up. But yes, join us for the game later this evening. That is everything for now. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you later.